Hi everyone, this is Chronicle. I'm going to showcase this Zehn. Well, I already maxed all of his skills except for the 6 skills, and with the gears and mementos everything equipped, his overall status is actually quite high after the job plus. It's really a lot of difference. Yeah, since this katana user job usually is from the physical attack and speed and dex. So the higher the physical attack, the dex and the speed, the damage will be even higher. Okay, quite high overall. And then the critical okay, and the HP okay, and the defense okay. And then his evasion actually is quite high as well. Okay, next is the leader skill. For the water units, it increased 30% HP and then physical attack 20% plus evasion 5%. And if you master his third gate, the physical attack 20% become all attack 30%. So basically with all attack up, you can team with the magic party. And then next is the main ability. Well, all of the skill have the changes, but mostly is when his HP is below 50%, another skill abit. So basically it's a 1-2 skill, but provided his HP is lower than 50%. And then for the first skill, it is an aerial water slash attack and strong versus a fire unit plus paralyzed status. And then for the chain skill, it is also an aerial water slash attack and strong versus a fire unit plus 100% hit. If the opponent is human plus have the paralyzed status, they will have the silent status. And then if Zehn have the healing disable status, the power increase. So basically, it's a very powerful chain skill, especially against a human unit. And then for the second skill, for the 3 turns, the elements within the area will have the accuracy down, and then they will have the CT up and clock up disable, means they will not have any CT up or clock up status on themselves. And then for the chain skill, if the enemies is a human unit, it also cancel their buff status. So technically this chain skill is for human unit, additional buffs cancel, okay. And then for the third skill, it reduces the enemy CTs within the area. Well, basically it's the same as the old skill, but then for the chain skill, if the enemies is the human unit, all of them will have the speed greatly down for 1 turn. Well, basically this skill is very good against a human unit as well. And then for the fourth skill, it is an aerial water slash attack and only the enemy will be getting the damage and strong versus a human. Well, basically this skill is from the single target become a area target. So it's quite good. And then for the chain skill, it is also an aerial water slash attack and only the enemy will be getting the damage and strong versus a human plus 100% hit. And if he have the healing disable status, the power increase. So technically, this healing disable status will make him very powerful on the chain skill, but only applies when his HP is less than 50% of course. And then when you master his 5th gate, it added extra when the opponent have any bad status, the power increase as well as the skill usage increase and jewel cost down. So technically it's very good for him to master the 5th gate just to reduce the jewel cost and increase the usage. And then for the chain skill, it only adds when the opponent have any bad status, the power increase. The rest is the same. Okay, next skill is, this is a totally new added skill. It is just a slash attack and the lower his HP is, the higher the damage is, and strong versus a human. And then for the 1 turn, his evasion greatly up. So technically this skill is increase his evasion. And then for the chain skill, it is almost the same as the previous skill with the 100% hit, and then when he have the healing disable status, the power increase, as well as instead of the evasion up, for the 1 turn, counter attack greatly up. So technically, if his HP is less than 50%, after using this skill, he will have the evasion plus counter attack up. So it's quite good, but it's only for 1 turn, so beware, and you only can use 2 times. Okay, next is the sub ability. Well, as for the first and second skill, there's no changes, so I only go through the third skill. It is a moving skill, and the enemy will have the evasion down and it is an area, so it's quite good, as well as he himself will have the accuracy up and slash resistance greatly up. So technically, this skill become quite useful than previous skill, especially it reduce the evasion as well as increase his accuracy. So it's basically very good for those units who have high evasion like Laftalia and Yaras. Just nice, it's also increased the slash resistance. Both of them is a slash user. I think this skill is really for counter Laftalia and Yaras, yeah, because both of them is really very powerful in evasion. And then next is the reaction skill. It is a first strike counter attack and it is 100%. And then if you equip with the second gate passive, it added extra skill counter. So technically you need to equip the second gate passive for the skill counter. If not, it's very weak. And then for the passive, okay, this is a second gate passive. Well, it greatly increased the physical attack and also increased the reaction block and evasion up plus slash up, and then with the skill counter of the reaction skill. So technically this passive is almost a compulsory passive for him. And then for the next passive, it increased the physical attack, physical defense, evasion up, and strong versus a human. So this passive is also very good since it increased the physical attack as well as strong versus a human and evasion up. But there's one more new passive you can consider, which is from the new job plus, which is this one. Well, also increase the physical attack and strong versus a human, and then with the accuracy up, and then from the start of the map, he will have the healing disabled. So technically with this passive equipped, his chain skill combo power up. Yeah, all of the chain skill. But provided his HP is less than 50% of cost. Otherwise, you might as well use the another passive to increase the evasion as well. Okay, next is the mementos. Okay, this first mementos is his own mementos, and it is a normal mementos. And then for the group skill, it increases the dex, physical attack, and then with the counter attack up, and strong versus a human. Okay, and also increase the initial jewel and evasion. So technically with these mementos, his evasion is quite high as well as strong versus a human and counter attack. And then if you max break these mementos, it added extra speed up, so his speed will be increased as well. And then for the BG ability, it is an area water slash attack and only the enemy will be getting the damage. And then for the 3 turns, all of them will have the rage status, and during the rage status, all of them will have the all attack down. And then when you max break these mementos, the overall skill attack power increase as well as the all attack down become a greatly down. So it increase the all attack down effect. But this visual ability is mainly for the PvP arena, since most of the monster enemy will not have the rage status. Yeah, it's really for arena. And then for the leader skill, for the Beta Temporal group, they will have the HP plus 40% and physical attack 20%, slash attack 20% and evasion up 10%. So technically this leader skill is very good for those using physical attack plus slash attack. And then it's very good for the evasion party since it increases another evasion. So it's very good to team with the Yaras and Laftalia. Yeah, both of them is a physical slash attacker and also have the high evasion, just nice. And then go against the Pride and Waff. And then for another new mementos, right now I don't have it, so I only just go through. This is his second mementos and it is also a normal mementos, so it's quite good and this is not limited. And then for the group skill, it increases the dex and then with the slash attack up, water attack up, and also increase the accuracy and evasion and reduce the jewel cost. And then when you max break these mementos, it added extra move plus 1. So technically his movement will be increased a bit. And then for the BG ability, it is a moving water slash attack and strong versus a human. And then for the 1 turn, he will have counter attack and evasion greatly up. So this BG ability is similar with his new main skill that also increases the counter attack and evasion. And then if you max break these mementos, of course it only increases the power attack, nothing much. But then this BG ability is also very good against the PvP arena as well, since it's a moving attack and strong versus a human. So technically both of his mementos is really very good against the arena, yeah. Of course, you can use this BG ability against the Hell Quest or Raid Boss that is a human unit, so that it will have the high damage. And then with the high counter attack and evasion, since his counter attack is a first strike attack, so basically it's a counter plus evade, just nice. And then for the mementos gear, well, only the water unit plus katana user can be equipped and it's an accessory. and it increases the initial duel, speed, counter attack, and strong versus a human. So technically it's really very good against the human and counter attack. And then the weapon ability is super good. For the first weapon ability, it reduces his HP, but for the 5 turns, his speed and evasion up. So technically after you use this weapon ability, his HP will be less than 50%. And then for the second weapon ability, when his HP is below 50%, he will have the dual regen. Yeah, it's a combo, seriously. So technically, after you use the first weapon ability, not only you have the dual regen, as well as you can use all the chain combo. Yeah. So basically, in order to use Zehn, you need to have this accessory. Yeah, it's almost a compulsory for him. And luckily, as I say, this mementos is not a limiter. You can get anytime. Yeah. So it's very good to get these mementos just for him, and then he will be very powerful after that. Okay, next is the gears. Okay, for this weapon, you can harm from the second stone, one of the ES squares, and then this weapon not so bad, it increases quite a lot of HP and with some physical attack and critical up. And then you can use the weapon ability. It is a center area water slash attack with 5 hits, but it's a random hit, and only the enemy will be getting the damage and with the property of critical hit plus CT down. So technically this skill is quite good, but it's a random 5 hit, so beware. And then for the next gear, this armor is from his first old mementos. Well, overall it's very good for him. It increases the dex and water attack and evasion up and slash up. So basically this armor will be the best for him, as well as the weapon ability is very good. When you equip this armor with his katana, he will have the maximum HP, dex, and speed up. So technically the katana and this armor is one set. Yeah, so you need to equip these two. But then if you don't have this armor, you can switch to. This accessory is from the gear summon, but it's only a 3-star, so it's very easy to get. And it also increases the evasion and speed, so it's also very good for him. And then for another alternate choice, this accessory is from the Attack of Titans, the Bind accessory. Well, basically it also increases the slash attack and speed, and strong versus a giant. And this 3 accessory is actually quite good for all the slash user as well as versus a giant unit. So any gear that is increase his evasion or slash or HP reject armor will be good for him. And then for the next gear, since I don't have his new memento, so I equip this accessory. You can get from the gear summon. It also increase the speed and then with the jewel gain. But then the physical attack is only plus 10. But at least it increase the speed and jewel gain, so it's okay for him. And then you can switch to another accessory. This is a limited accessory you can get from the gear summon or secret shop. It greatly increases the physical attack a lot and also increase the fire resistance and dark resistance. But the HP will be useless for him since his katana also increases the HP. And then you can use this weapon ability. For the 3 turns, it increases your ally speed, but the dual cost is 90, so it's very costly. And then for another alternative, you also can equip this accessory. This accessory is from the Tamamo 3 mementos from her Job Plus event. Also increase the speed and then with the maximum jewel and luck. So it's also quite a good alternative for him to increase the speed. Okay, next is, I'm going to test it out at the training arena and let's see how powerful he really become with this new Job Plus and all the skill. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's check his status first. Well, with this leader skill, since it doesn't increase any physical attack, so his physical attack is only this high, plus another all attack 30%. And then with the Mementos group skill, everything, the speed is actually quite high, as well as the dex and so. Okay, let's see his normal attack first. Well, normal damage. And then let's see this one. Okay, about 6.2 damage and with the Fairlight status. And then this one. Whoa, not bad actually, but since this is a human unit, so the damage should be higher. And then for the last skill, yeah, this one. Well, the damage is not really that high because of his HP is maximum. So in order to have high damage, make sure the Zehn HP is very low. And then also have the strong versus a human as well. Okay. Next is this one, start ability, first skill. Well, this skill main purpose is only for the death sentence against a human. Nothing special and there's no changes as well. And then this one. Okay. It's very good since it reduces the opponent evasion. And then let's see the master ability. For this skill is his main master ability from the katana. Let's see the damage, how much. Okay, not really that high, but at least it reduces the opponent CT. Okay, next is the BG ability from the old mementos. Let's see the damage. Okay, not bad, and also reduce the opponent all attack, just nice. Okay, next is if his HP is less than 50%. Let's see the total damage how much after the chain skill with the healing disable status. Okay, let's go. Okay, I managed to reduce his HP up to this level. Okay, about 10% of the maximum HP. Okay, let's see all of his skill damage for this first skill. Let's see the damage total. Not bad, about 10k almost. And then for the second skill, yeah, this one. Okay. Okay, about 23k, also quite nice. And then for the last skill, this one. Well, the damage is quite high when his HP is about 10%. And then let's see the damage. Okay. About 22-23k. It's almost same as the previous skill. But of course, this skill you need to have the lower HP for the big damage, as well as the healing disable status to increase the additional damage. Okay, next is I'm going to test the Zehn evasion. Right now, Zehn don't have any evasion up buff. Let's see the evasion rate from the front. Okay, 40%. And then from the side. Okay. And then from the back. 90%. Well, it's very risky. Okay, after the evasion up buff, let's see the Zehn evasion rate is how much. Okay, let's go. Okay, with the evasion buff activate, let's see the evasion rate from the front. Okay, 0% expected. Okay, let's see from the side. 15%, still okay. How about behind? 40%. Actually, it's not bad, but it's still very risky compared to Laftalia and Yaras. And this evasion up is only for one turn, so beware. But then Zehn can reduce the opponent accuracy as well as reduce the evasion. So technically reduce the opponent accuracy, his evasion will be higher, or reduce the opponent evasion, his accuracy will be increased. So technically he can be a very high evasion unit with the combination of the debuff and the buff. So conclusion is, Zehn Job Plus is really quite powerful, especially against the arena, yeah. As well as he also very good against a human unit, especially the red boss that is a human unit or any hell quest. And then he also very good in counter and evade at the same time, thanks to the reaction ability and the buff, counter attack up and evasion up. But there's only one problem about him, that is, his HP must be below 50% in order to use the chain skill. But then in order to use him to the fullest, you minimum need to have his new mementos. Because the new mementos have a good BG ability as well as the memento skill is very good for him. It reduces his HP a lot so that you can use the chain skill and then with the auto regen so that he can use the skill constantly. So I guess that's all about Zehn. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys got any question about him, please comment. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you like this video. See ya, sayonara.
志の妨げにならず、我が志の妨げにならず、我が志の妨げにならず、行くぞ終焉の時だ。消え果てよ。悔やむがよい、浅はかな己を。